It started dialogue, whereas on the monitor it didn't dialogue, but it affected the moving image. And then maybe it perhaps answered a question like, well, why is this person fidgeting so much? Why is there's so much this unsettled? Why is this person so unsettled?
That's a nice moment right there because the makeup all of a sudden reminds you that you're not seeing the face in a way that the clothes doesn't. Yeah, I think this, I don't know, just the resolution of this piece is really just very heartwarming because I think it's the right scale, it sounds right. But I think I don't know. I forgot about that. See. It's just not necessary. It's just like a little software lets you do these things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to articulate this thought. I think unlike a lot of the other things we just talked about, it doesn't seem like your subject is not really embedded in either the imagery or the medium in that. So it's something about language, its relationship to creation of identity and that. And I think this is the kind of problem to work on because you can't just keep changing flows. This piece in a sense, it completes this possible way of investigating that subject. It certainly doesn't resolve that subject. And for obvious reasons, it makes me very much think of a lot of critical art because, language is political, but in Quebec it's overtly political. And because it's a bilingual culture, it's just, a lot of artists sort of wrestle with very similar kinds of issues and that. And anyway, I'm just glad that I just want to say that before I got it.
Yeah, the presentation, I like the scale, I like the way this body is situated in the space here. I would have preferred if maybe some tape was used or some kind of gobo, so the spillage on the sidewall wasn't present. Because I found, only because I became conscious of it, I would have preferred that this visual image only existed right here in front of me. And this reminded me that it's a projection that sort of broke that spell that the video can create. It was coming in here, the body was so big and the sound was so commanding. I had to get used to it with a certain level of discomfort.
It's interesting to look at the shift back and forth between the play with the lack of authority of sometimes the image and the way that even the body is presenting itself for us. And the things being directed at it, which I think that's how I interpret sound. I guess is that with this kind of constant, sometimes I sort of felt it as a kind of internal voice, other times I felt it as an external voice to the body. And I think that's a powerful thing. I think that that's very much related to those kinds of issues. But the kind of fidgeting, and I also love there are times when it makes sense what the body's doing or what the figure is doing when they're kind of buttoning up the shirt as you would, and then there are times when there are these really kind of quirky ways of kind of shifting the clothing that where it's sort of like there's an attempt to find a way out of the system or out of the rigidity of the dress and of even the image and of the representation, but these ways out are kind of fruitless ultimately. I think it's in that way it's a bit of it's kind of an intense piece because I think it's hard in the way that it doesn't show something out of us.
Yeah, there's no escape. And
still having like VM, but which is what your name says,
I think that some of the clothes don't clearly signify gender to me, and because they can fall either way, it's not that doesn't create an interesting conflict between gender. It just mutes the conversation. And so I would have liked to see, like, a tie is strong. When you pull the lipstick up to your face, that's strong. Like, I really understand those, and then they can become complicated within your video, and so that I have to sort of challenge my assumptions about all this. But right now, too many of the clothing items are neutral to me. They don't really lead me to have a relationship with what's being said or to gender. It just kind of becomes blah. And the fidgeting, I don't see how that is an important component to this work. Some of it certainly to create a little bit of an edge and anxiety, but I think it dominates. It's almost the main sort of performative act that I can sort of see happening often is the fidgeting. So I would probably tone that down. But I also echo a very nice presentation of this and an interesting subject matter to pursue. And I really appreciate that. Okay, we are like having a rush meeting now, so thank you.